All right, welcome to Casa del Jack. We got the reef tank in the background. For those of you who have not seen the tank, it's a 200-gallon reef with coral, fish, the whole nine. Anyway, today's video is something different. As you guys know, Sema is going on right now. So in this video, I'm gonna call out my 10 best and 10 worst of Sema 2019. All right, so first up, we've got this awesome FD that has the TCP Magic Kit on it. I really dig this car. I think it's a real good example of what can be done if you put a lot of time and energy. The paint looks amazing. It's a really good example of a finely tuned JDM car. So RX-7, of course, I'm partial to them, so I'm going to start there. But anyway, moving on, we've got the HKS Supra, the A90. They brought some heat. They're bringing up. I think they're single-handedly going to be responsible for most of the market that's going on with the A90 Supra. They're bringing all of the suspension and the tuning products to the game, while most people are focusing on body kits and things like that. So watch out for them. They're going to be doing a lot more with this car. I spoke with them directly, so I know that they've got some more in the skunk works. So keep them in mind. Moving on, we got Rob Dom. Listen, I got to throw it to him. Rob, shout out to you. You really did come through with this one. The car looks amazing. You got the four-rotor in the car. It's running. It's all-wheel drive. I didn't think it would happen. So I don't think a lot of people thought it would happen. So shout out to Rob. You're doing good, and that's why I think you're in the top of the Sema class. So can't wait to see more from that car. Moving on, we've got TJ Hunt. His Supra is completely kitted now. I mean, it went from zero to hero, seems like overnight. And what I like about the kit is it accentuates the existing lines of the car already. So I love the beefiness of it, the wing, everything. It's just a lot of nice touches that have been done to it. So shout out to TJ for getting that done. And I can't wait to see what happens with that. A lot of show, needs some go, but looking good otherwise. Moving on, we've got this crazy BMW. The swap is not really the big deal for me, but what is a big deal for me is this 180-degree header that they've put on it. That's a big deal because it's going to sound insane. It's going to be really intense. The whole car is done up, though, so big shout out to them for building this thing because it looks, and I'm sure it sounds amazing. I'd love to hear that. All around, got the diffusers, got the body kit, got everything going. So from there, we've got another crazy looking build. This is an awesome looking Corolla. It's got a nice swap into it. Looks like a Beams motor, and it's just ITB with a header, super clean, super simple, but really does send a lot of good vibes out if you like these old school cars. And I think it looks modernized. They've brought a nice modern touch to the car. So big shout out to them there. Awesome. This next car is a Fairlady. If you haven't seen this car, it's cool because they did the whole roadster thing. They chopped the windshield and made this really, really like racy roadster, but it's a nicely, again, this is not something that you typically see at Sema. It's not something you typically see in the modification world at all. It does exist, but it's pretty cool to see a Fairlady as an example for that. So it's a sign of things to come. And in the same stroke, we've got this crazy looking little Porsche that's just on the same level. It's got this roadster look to it and just a lot of a speedster look to it, and I love that. I love that coolness. And these cars are representative of what I think is a trend that's coming, not necessarily for the normal everyday driver stuff, but in the show scene for sure. So keep your eyes open there. Now, Chevy, they brought the C8R. I like this car. I know a lot of people don't, but I like this car. It represents a positive motion for GM. They finally got a DCT in the car. They've got the flat plane crank V8 in the car. So the sound is crazy. The transmission is crazy. It's an awesome package. I can't wait to see this thing on the track just destroying the field because it is progressive. Now, this car, this is an old school Porsche slant nose with some, I'm going to say, interesting touches. A lot of modernization, some retro feel to it because the car is retro, but the colors, the design, the layout, the parts, you can see there's a lot of classic / kind of modernized. It's almost like a resto mod of that era. So really cool. I like seeing that trend. I hope that continues. Now, moving on to the worst stuff. We've got this, I hate to see this. We've got this Huracan with that they put an LS into. I don't even want to admit to it. That's cringy. I don't like it. I don't like it. I respect the work that's being done in these cars. I want you to know that, but this is one I can't get behind. So this is part of the worst in my opinion. Now, another one. This, I'm not even going to get too crazy deep into these. I just want you to know I don't like this trend. I don't like this like, what do you call this? Like, I know it's like Hot Wheels or whatever, but you bring that to life, and to me, it doesn't really represent much. It's like a comical, it looks like a cartoon car. It doesn't look, it looks like a caricature of what a car could be. And here's another one. Now, this one, I believe, came from Hoonigan. I mean, it's got a big nasty mountain under the hood or above the hood or around the hood, but the rest of the car, you know, I just can't. Again, the caricature style, it's not for me. I respect the work. I'm sure it's a ton of work to make that happen, but in reality, to me, it just looks too comical. It's not on my to-do list at all. So here we go. This thing, it speaks for itself. Boy, those wheels, the body kit, the whole thing is a fail, in my opinion. I know there's so much work that's being done here, but man, it's not different. It's not new. It's not progressive. It's just loud, flashy, and in my opinion, god awful ugly. This is another one. It looks like they just took pinstriping and just followed every single body line that they could, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, in my opinion. It doesn't work. It looks like it almost looks like the old school lowrider style paint, but applied to this car in the way they did. Now, another fail. Now, the next trend that I want to kind of suss out that's really bugging me, and this continues on my list of fails for Sema 2019, the trucks. What happened to trucks? I mean, I remember trucks were like a cool thing. They were doing a lot of new stuff a few years back, a lot of interesting things, but whew, this is bad. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So this is a C10, but it's I mean, like, it's cool for like 2005, but I mean, come on. 15 years later, we have got to go past this type of stuff. This is just a real old school now by my standards. Not even old school. It's like I say, like a mid-2000s type of resto mod build. Nothing new. You brought this to Sema. It's got to be different. This thing, it looks retarded. I don't even know what to make out of it. It's just, it looks like a truck frame that they chopped a Jeep off and like stuck it and shrunk it and put it down. You can't see out of it. I guarantee you that. It has no use at all. It's literally a Jeep rat rod. So 0 points for innovation on that one. That's too common. You brought that again. You brought this to SEMA, and here's another one. Another just run of the mill Jeep. I mean, like, okay, you take a Jeep, you change the bumper in the front end, you put some wheels and tires on it, and lift it a whole bunch. They've been doing this since like the 70s. Like, change something. I mean, let's come up with some innovation that at least is visible and sets the tone for some sort of progress in the industry. Not happening. And going on this whole truck theory again, or truck theme, I just don't see any movement at all in the scene. This mall crawler stuff has been done. It's been done and done and done. And they're just putting more chrome and more shiny shit on top of it. It's just constantly getting shinier and chromier and less functional, I guess is the best way to put it. This is the equivalent of the stance scene that was happening in cars, but for trucks. You know, I've seen enough. Get it out of here. This is 2019 again. You guys got to do better than this. You got to do better than this. Hope you guys enjoyed the best and worst. I think that it kind of goes hand in hand. There's a lot of work being put into these, even if they're good or bad. So I can't wait to see some more. SEMA's not over yet. I'm just taking it in as it comes out. See you in the next one.